Congregation Beth Israel in Carmel Valley on Tuesday. Some of you were also at Congregation Bethel in Salinas on Monday. The people of all faiths have been gathering with our Jewish brothers and sisters in congregations across the country to stand with them, to stand for peace, for loving kindness, for an end to hatred, and to stand firmly against any and all acts of anti-Semitism or racism or bigotry of any kind. So taking part in that service on Tuesday were representatives from various faiths. Our Bishop Mary was there. Nashwan Hamza, who is a representative from the mosque in Seaside and who spoke at our pulpit earlier this year, was there. It was a beautiful, beautiful service. And I think more than anything else that I took away from that service was this profound feeling of peace and of safety and of rest. There were so many people of goodwill there. So many people aching to create peace. So many people who embody peace. I was sitting next to Deacon Cynthia and she leaned over to me and she said, doesn't it feel good to be in the midst of all these people? Now, I don't really like crowds. And I suspect that Deacon Cynthia does not like crowds. But that is not what she meant. Because it wasn't a crowd in the normal sense of a crowd. This was a gathered body of people of faith who long for shalom. And whose actions, if you take them on the whole, whose actions are on behalf of God's reign, the kingdom, on behalf of goodness and healing. So today we're celebrating the Feast of All Saints and baptisms and the inauguration of the blessing of our new processional cross. It's a big Sunday for us. And on the wind of that wonderful gathering on Tuesday, I concur with that spiritual. You know that spiritual? Oh, when the saints go marching in. Come on, guys. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be in their number. Oh, when the saints go marching in. And you know why I want to be in their number? Why I want to be in their number is what I felt on Tuesday and what I feel here, which is that, there might be persecution and trouble. We know that with the saints there is. Jesus told us there was going to be. So, yeah, there's going to be persecution and trouble. But there is also deep peace and glorious joy, and there is really good singing. So this morning, we're adopting 4 sweet souls into this joyful group of people. This joyful group of people who are followers of Jesus. So are you along with that little kid? Feeling joyful this morning? Well, I'm sure that he is. But I think we are. And if you're not, it's okay. It's okay if you're not, but I want you to reach down into your own soul and find that place of joy. Because here's the thing. God wins. God has already won. The battle is over. I mean, even if it looks like death and gloom are ascendant, it looks that way. But what all these gathered people of faith can tell you is that looks are deceiving. And that we can walk in freedom. And we can have moments of playfulness, especially on our sacred days, on our holy days. We can laugh. We can laugh, even parents with little crying babies. We can laugh because Jesus is resurrected. Death does not have the last word. Illness and pain and even old age don't get the last word. So get your joy on, my friends. This morning, your smiles, your playfulness. your singing voice. And when Eric plays whatever hymn is next, let's sing it out, okay? Let's sing it out. Like God gave us some voices to sing with. Like God gave us some voices to raise up on behalf of justice. And on behalf of the hungry and the homeless and the needy. Like God gave us some hearts to care. To care about what happens to other people. Gave us some hands to pray with and to cook soup with. Like God gave us some legs to stand up on behalf of children the world over. You know, not just our own children, but all around the world. Children in San Pedro Sula, Honduras. Children in Quito, Ecuador. Children in Mantua, Haiti. Children in Mississippi and East Salinas and Washington School District, right down the way from us. God gave us voices and hearts and hands and legs and told us to use them to love Him and to love each other, to share what we have with each other. So that's the life we're baptizing these children into. They can't live it on their own. Their parents can't live it on their own. But Jesus put us into small groups, into churches, into communities of believers, because that's how we learn how to follow Him. That's how we get the courage to live free. That's how we were made for relationship. So it's not just the parents that are going to be making vows on their children's behalf. We're all making some vows to support them in raising up their kids in this Jesus way of love and freedom. In this Jesus way of love and freedom that knows we're going to fall down. Knows that we're going to fall into sin. Knows that we're going to get hurt and we're going to hurt others. Knows that. And knows that if you're all alone in that sin and that hurt, you're likely to fall into despair and then just keep on falling. But when we have each other, someone is bound to notice and reach out a hand and say, come on, what's going on? And before you know it, you've confessed what's happening, and there's words of forgiveness and grace and hope, and there's the ability to move on, to find your voice again, to get back your strength, to love yourself and love others. Jesus put us in a community because things just go better that way. Life is better that way. It's better even when we disagree and get all partisan with each other, because God's grace is bigger and wider than that. And when we gather at the table of the Lord, we're brought back into our right mind, into this way of love, into this way of freedom and grace. We're brought back into Jesus' fellowship that crosses all lines. Jesus put us in a community because we're braver in community. We have more heart. We have more courage to stand up and be counted. So when we renew our own baptismal vows along with these families, we're going to vow to strive for justice and peace among all people. We're going to vow to respect the dignity of every human being. We're going to vow to seek and serve Christ in all people. Those are high standards. Those are high standards. And it's going to take a whole lifetime of walking with Jesus, right? To learn how to do all of that. And to unpack all that this service holds for us. It's going to take a whole lifetime of walking into these vows to even get a glimpse of what God is doing in redeeming the whole human race and in recreating a new heaven and a new earth right here among us. It takes a whole lifetime of walking with others. We're also walking the way of Christ. Here's the most important part. Whether we're walking and dancing, or whether we're stumbling and falling, we can claim joy. And it's a joy, It's a joy that the devil and all his powers of rage and hate and despair and boredom, whatever he throws at us, it's a joy that can't be taken away. So when I light the small baptismal candles from that large Paschal candle of Christ, when I give a candle to each of these children, or actually I'm going to give it to their moms and dads, I'm going to say, receive the light of Christ. Receive the light of Christ. It's never going to go out. Even when you lose your way, even when things fall apart, because believe me, over the course of a lifetime, it's going to happen at least once. But when that happens, Jesus isn't going to leave. You can always depend on Him. The light of Christ is always going to be there for you, seeing you home, welcoming you home, seeking you out, finding you, bringing you back. So whether you're in a church or a synagogue or another place of worship with people of faith who are celebrating joyfully or mourning tragedy, whether you're on a work party, cleaning up the beaches or making soup for the hungry, whether you're gathered with your family at the Thanksgiving table or out on the field playing soccer, you can know that you're part of this large family of faith. And part of this messy, glorious, life-giving family of Christ. Every single one of us carry that light within. And you shine pretty bright and sing pretty loud when we're all gathered together. So you cannot disappoint me. The next hymn, you gotta sing it out. Whether you know it or not, whether you can sing a tune or not, just sing with your heart. Because you have the light. And the light has you. Always and forever. Amen. So it's time for this baptism now. So I'm going to invite all the families to come forward.